Now, inside every single cell in our bodies is DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. This is the information carrier for the entirety of human beings. It's contained in a double helix formation and includes every detail of who you are, from eye color to brain capacity to kidney function. Have you ever thought about how much information it would take to make us? Scientists have. And it's only been in our generation that they've discovered just how much information is contained in our DNA. Each DNA strand has 4 bases represented by the letters A, C, G, and T. These bases on one strain form bonds with bases on another strain, thus making the double helix strand. The information on these strands goes from letters to words to sentences to paragraphs to ultimately an encyclopedia of information that becomes the blueprint of our lives. Is that hyperbole? Hardly. If you were to map out the characters on one single strand of DNA in just one cell, you would wind up with 3.14 billion characters. If you simply typed out the letters A, C, G, and T repeatedly with a standard font on a regular sheet of paper, how many pieces of paper would it take to type out all the letters from one DNA strand? The stack of paper would be as high as the Woodman Tower in downtown Omaha. And that's only one cell. Imagine all the characters of all the DNA in your body being typed out. Now that would be a lot of paper. If you were to take a single strand of DNA out of a single cell in your body and stretch it out, it would be 6 feet long. Since the average adult has 100 trillion cells in their body, if you took all of their DNA and stretched it out from end to end, it would go from here to the sun and back 600 times. In the amount of time it takes me to say this sentence, 50 billion cells in your body will die, and 50 billion cells will be replaced. That's 50 billion new copies of DNA that are produced in just a few short seconds. Augustine said, "Men go abroad to wonder at the height of mountains, the huge waves of the sea, the long course of rivers, the vast compass of the ocean, the circular motion of the stars. But they pass by themselves and don't even notice." You see, the same God that designed the universe and hung the stars in place, well, he also designed little McCoy here. And he designed you. You are beautifully and wonderfully made, designed by a master craftsman. Have you ever considered how massive the mind of God must be to fashion every detail in the way that he has? God is amazing. His mark can be seen from the bigness of the universe to the smallness of DNA. But there's still one more concept that boggles the mind, and that is the concept of time. Movies from Back to the Future to Groundhog Day have asked the question, what if time isn't constant? What if time can be bent? Now, Jesus claims that he can exist at multiple points on the timeline all at the same time. As a matter of fact, one time Jesus said, "Before Abraham was, I am." That means that he existed simultaneously during his own time, around 30 AD, and all the way back at 2000 BC during Abraham's time. Beyond that, the Bible claims that to God a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. Even the first 4 words of the Bible speak of the bigness of God over time. They say, "In the beginning, God." God is the self-existent one, the one who was before anything else was. And being the one who's the originator of all things, he's also the originator of time. Therefore, he's not bound by time because he created time. And he speaks to us of an existence that goes on long after death, an existence that goes on and on forever. An eternity not bound by our economy of time, but by God's economy of it. I remember when one of my own kids, a little philosopher in her own right, said to me,
"How big is God?"
"Well, sweetheart,
"How long will forever last?"
a very
"And how
long..."
did you imagine eternity will be?" That's very hard for me to figure out.
So what did I say to the little Einstein? I said the same thing I think right now. It's hard for me to imagine it too, but I believe that it's real, and I believe that God, the God of all eternity, whose mind is way bigger than ours, I think that He understands it. And if we could begin to grasp things like the vastness of the universe, the complexity of DNA, the timelessness of eternity, well, then we would live different, love different, and worship God like never before.